Hi, Tim from Fairplay Now, and it's day 25 of the English national lockdown, 29th of November 2020. And sorry I didn't put any links to the video yesterday about the anti-lockdown protests that were going on in London and around the country yesterday, but I'll sort of put one or two links under this video today instead. It's just that I wanted to really see what the fallout from all that was, and from what I've seen, well, one of the newspapers, The Sun, has said there was 150 arrests. The Guardian reckons there was 60 arrests. So the mainstream news can't even kind of match each other or agree with each other how many arrests there are. So it just shows you the standard of their journalism, I think. But some of the footage I saw was an old man getting arrested, and even Father Christmas getting arrested. A guy in a Father Christmas suit getting arrested yesterday. Honestly, as the police got no idea how bad that makes them look. Clearly not. It just shows you kind of how stupid they are really with all this stuff, and just how they want to just arrest any lockdown protester they can regardless. But I do see that there is growing evidence that the government are sort of getting more and more rocked by the protests and by the dissent, and the number of Tory MPs in Parliament now who are saying they're not going to, or they're going to be voting against the government, has reached 70 or gone over 70, which is pretty close to their majority. And apparently some of the latest reports I've been reading online has indicated that Johnson's starting to panic a little bit, and whereas the tier system was going to carry on until March, they're going to now review it on the 19th of December and quite possibly put a lot of people in the tier 3 places down to tier 2 to downgrade people. And also there's going to be a sunset clause at last on the tier system, which will be ending on the 3rd of February. So whereas sort of Johnson wanted to carry that on until March, or end of March, so it's looking like the tier system might come to an end with a bit of luck on the 3rd of February instead, but who knows. Dominic Raab was reported today as saying that if we're not careful, there's going to be a third wave and a third national lockdown. So that's what the government want. That's what the mainstream media want. And we can't let our guard down. We need to keep protesting, no matter how big or small you do it. And I'm doing it pretty small time, let's face it, with these videos, but at least it is some kind of form of protest. And I'm hoping at least, quite a few people have seen these now, at least a few dozen. And if you can influence a dozen people, they'll be influencing a dozen more, and that's the way these things spread. So, but I think the government do want this to last forever, and we just really, really need to keep on top of them, keep protesting, and then the MPs will sort of get frightened enough and outraged enough on our behalf to keep the pressure on the government, and then the government will cave and just be reined in, which is the way things should work. And quite frankly, it's how things should have been working a lot sooner than this. But anyway, the English national lockdown is due to end on the 2nd of December. Now, they haven't said exactly what time on the 2nd of December, but I bet you anything, knowing the way these people operate, that it will be late on the 2nd, so effectively we won't be out of lockdown until the 3rd. But it is drawing to a close, so I'm only going to be making these videos until whenever it finishes, the 2nd. Might just do one last one on the 3rd, just to kind of wrap things up. But I will be doing more videos on a more ad hoc basis after that, just as and when I've got things to say. So it won't be every day, but it will be when I've got something to say about things like this, because it is a sort of valuable record of what's going on. As another YouTuber said, you know, you make these videos to not only protest, but to keep a you know, a record, even if it's just for yourself, a record of what's going on, because we'll forget half of this stuff. And if things got back to normal, say by the middle of next year, by the end of next year, this time next year, you know, we'd have forgotten about half this stuff, and kind of how close we really came to losing our freedom and our democracy. And that's if we haven't lost it, of course, if it does get back to normal. So, but that's not going to happen unless we all do our whatever we can, big or small, to just kind of protest against this. But anyway, that's it for today. So I'll be back tomorrow, but that's been day 25, English national lockdown. Tim from Fair Play now. Thanks for watching.